All right, this is from my old video. Um, Basically, just talking about if you lose a little, but your 1 to 3 ratio, for example, um, as long as you stick to a disciplined path or whatever, that's just like a mindset that you're building consistently profits and not just trying to get rich, overnight or whatever. I mean, obviously, but whatever. This has been on my board for like 3 months. Um, I've just been busy with a lot of other stuff, but that is not the topic of this video. But I just want to show y'all, just because I haven't made a video in a while. I'm like, but anyways, we're gonna talk about prop firms today and how they are a lie. They're a lie. Okay, prop firms are a lie. Okay, they are a lie. So I like smelling markers. What? Prop. It's like wet. That's what she said. So I need to dry it off. I just sprayed too much Windex. Oh. Prop firms are a lie. There you go. Super correct English all the time. Yeah, so let's talk about this. So a prop firm is gonna blow smoke up your hinder parts, and they're gonna say, hey, get this $100,000 account. You can manage $100,000. Bullshit. Sorry for my language. So they say, you're gonna get 100,000, right? And it's just not true. Now, so if you look at so if you look at so the best one as far as affordability is what I found is Apex Trader. So if you look at Apex Trader, where's my eraser? So I don't know where it is right now, but it doesn't matter. I'll use this. So Apex Trader, best equals Apex, whatever it is, Apex, you know what I'm talking about, the popular one. I don't know, there might be another one, but so they say they're gonna give you 100,000, and they have two different kinds of 100,000. They have what's the normal, I don't know what they just trailing, right? Trailing drawdown. So need more room. Trailing drawdown. I don't need to tell you there's two types. I can just show you what they are. It's been a while. All right, so they say 100,000, and you can get one with let's just put right here, we can put trailing. So I'll say for 100,000, with a 3K, that's what they give you, 3K trailing stop loss. So obviously, if you start with 100,000, you can't lose down to 97, or you'll blow your account. If you make 3,000, now you can't go below 100,000. Okay, and then the other one is static. The static one, as far as I understand, starts off with about $620 static stop loss. So you cannot lose more than $620 or you blow your account. If I was a prop firm, I would not even advertise this. Why? Because now you just gave away your whole secret. I mean, now you just sort of blew yourself up. Now, in my mind, in my eyes, I'm sitting there thinking, wait a minute, it was kind of obvious before, you know. Now, what's the reason why someone would get either one of these? Well, this one is like with the coupon. I think this one's like, I don't know, $60, and then this one's like $30 or whatever. Okay, so I don't know if it's exactly that. With there's an 80% coupon. It's still a ripoff. It's still not worth it. Prop firms are a lie. All right, so why is it not worth it? Well, this is why it's not worth it. Because basically, the reason why it's not worth it is that I don't know, I'm trying to keep my train of thought, right? All right, so why did I not do it? I didn't do it because, well, I'll tell you, there's some problems with it. First of all, psychological issue of constantly having, you know, every time you know, do better, you know, you're still under the same amount of pressure. You know, in other words, if you started with, by the way, yeah, 3K, I think that's, yeah, 3K. Yeah, so if you started with, let's say, a 3K account and you grew it to 6,000, you have 6,000. What they're saying is if you take the 3K account and grow it to 6,000, you have 3,000, even if you didn't take a withdrawal. So it's kind of screwed up, right? Psychologically speaking, you never give yourself breathing room, right? So like if I had a $3,000 account and I grew it to 6,000, now with CoinEx, I can just make a new account and deposit that 3,000 in there. Now I've got two $3,000 accounts if I want to do it that way, or I could just keep the $6,000 account. Whatever I want to do, but it's my money. I have it. Apex is saying, even if you make 9,000, well, you still can't lose more than 3. So it's just kind of, believe me when I say it will screw with you. Now, this kind of gives away the whole ball game when they say you get a $100,000 account, okay, and you can only lose 620. Okay, so I'm thinking, dude, just learn how to trade and put $620 into a trading account, or get a credit card and put that in a trading account, but make sure that you know how to trade first. And my point is like, you know, what do you don't we all want, like, so let me say, me, I want freedom, right? Freedom. So I don't want someone telling me what to do, telling me the rules. Now, how many rules does a prop firm has? Okay. Too many. rules, right? You're so busy thinking about all their rules and how not to break them and blow up your account and everything that you can't even think. There's no time to even think. You forget to even think about your own personal trading rules, right? So it's like, how much bandwidth do we really have? I mean, we're trying to look for a setup. We're trying to, you know, look in the zone, and we're looking for at a certain time, and we're looking for, what do you call, fair value gaps and order blocks and bullish engulfing candles and whatever else, and key levels and position sizing and average daily range and I mean, so many things, right? Risk management and everything like that. It's just like, I like to have my own rules. Okay, I don't want someone else telling me what to do. Now, here's a big problem with it. Now, they say, okay, 620. Okay, that's what you can lose. Now, here's the thing. It only costs $30 a month, right? A month. But the problem is, when you get the funded account, they call it a performance account, PA, right? So when you get the PA, it costs, for all of these, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I'm right, it costs $105 a month rent, to just rent $620. So you are renting $625 for $105 a month. Can you see that? Renting $625 for $105 a month. I'm just gonna let that sink in for you. Let that sink in. Renting $625 for $105 a month. Or $3,000. So let's be fair. Okay, let's be fair. So you're renting, okay, you're renting either $3K or $625. Can you read that? Is that all right? Oh, it's even worse. It's more ugly, that one. The other one was better looking but harder to read. If that's possible, it is. 625. Let's move on with the video, okay? Anyway, so that's the deal. You're renting this money for $105 a month. So every month. Now, by the way, here's another problem with it. Another problem with it is, if you look at the profit goals, I ran out of room. I don't have any more room to write on here. Okay. But if you look at the profit goals, Okay, I gotta find somewhere to write. I need a bigger board. Honestly, I'm definitely gonna get a bigger board. This one's pretty big though. I just need to write smaller. But I didn't think I was gonna talk this much. I didn't think I was gonna take up so much room. But so anyway, what was I saying? If you think about the risk management, okay, risk management. Okay, risk management. And you say, I'm only going to risk the classic 2%, right? Now, I don't, you can think of it different. So you can think of it, let's just say, for right now, let's just use the $620. So $620. Now, let's say you're just going to risk 2% of that. Now, what's the math? Hold on. The average retail trader, what was it? I think it was the most it's different percentage likelihoods, but the most that, in other words, it's extremely rare to get like whatever 10 or more losses in a row, if you know what you're doing, or if you're even just halfway decent, I guess. Like the average retail trader, even though they lose, like a high percentage of them lose, they don't have like these huge losing streaks. They lose big a lot, and that's what causes them to bust out and blow out. But if you think about risk management here and how long it's going to take you to get to your profit goal, and how much you have to risk, and how long it would take to do it safely, then you start having to consider this cost, right? So now one challenge is not just costing you, if it takes 2 months, and you say, oh God, I would do it in a week. That's exactly why people blow up. Even though I've flipped accounts and stuff, I'm just saying he shouldn't. I've blown more accounts than I've flipped, believe me. By a lot. Okay, it's not even, it's funny, but it's not even close. I started to say it's not even funny. It is funny, but it's not close. You're talking like 10-1 if you're doing it that way. I don't know, it's bad, but I didn't know what I was doing. But anyways, the point is, it takes time, right? So then you're paying monthly rent to pass the challenge. So let's just keep it simple and just say that, okay? So we don't even really need to even, well, we can just leave that, I guess. It's fine. So that's another problem I have with it. And then when you get your account right here, you start with $625 that you can lose. So you're back at square one, right? Oh, and don't even get me started on that. Well, let's get started. Yeah, on that. The payouts, they take on average about 16 days. Whereas with CoinEx, you get immediate. Like 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, it's done. You get your money, you get your cash. You cash out whenever you want. Because you want. It's freedom, right? I'm the boss, okay? And so it takes 16 days. Okay, we're just gonna have like little different topics on this one. I'll put it here. Can take 16 days for a payout. I know that's like really crappy handwriting, but it's basically an illusion. They're basically saying, yeah, come get this $100,000. Okay. Let me put this in perspective. Okay, let me, where is it? Where's my money? Hold on. I got it. I got it right here. Okay, this is not real. Okay, but this is $100,000. Okay, that's $100,000. You got it? Can you see that 100,000? I'll put it right here so you can look at it. Actually, it won't stay propped up. Propped. I didn't mean to say that. Propped up. Okay. So this is $100,000. This is what they tell you they're giving you. So yeah, I'm giving you $100,000. You're paying. $100,000. It's only $30 a month for the static. It's only with the coupon. It's only $60 a month for $100,000. Get $100,000 down. You get a chance at having $100,000 account. Big money baller for only $60 a month, guy. Feel me? Yeah. See what I'm saying? Yeah, $100,000 a month. I mean, $100,000 for only. So you're renting. Let's say you're renting $100,000 for only $30 to $60, depending on your account type, right? But really, it's only $3,000 or $620. Now, as I said, you can never build your cushion beyond $3,000 no matter how well you do. Think about your risk. Imagine you've been trading, you've been grinding, you've been doing, like, working so hard, and you're doing awesome. You started with a 3,000, now you built it up, you doubled it. Now you started with 100,000, quote unquote, 100,000, and now you got 103. So you're like, yeah, man, I just made $3,000, and you keep doing it. But you cannot increase your risk without risking blowing your account. Okay? Let's see, with trailing, you cannot increase your risk without risking basically blowing your account. Without basically, because if you only have this, let's say you're making what is the okay, so 1,000, so 2% of 1,000 is what is it? Is it 20, 60? So let's say you're risking 2%. I think that's 60, right? $60. So you're trying to make 120 at least, if not triple what you're risking, or yeah, double or triple what you're risking. So you're trying to make like 120 or 180, something like that, on this size account. So let's say you're doing that. You're like, yeah, okay, that's my 2%. But it stays the same because that's what trailing does to you. It makes your risk stay the same. So you're like, I want to make more money. I need to make more money. I should be making more money. I want to make more money. I want to be bigger, do bigger trades. With this, you cannot. You cannot. I mean, you could, but not without risking blowing your account. Okay. With the trailing, you cannot increase your risk without risking your account. Okay. So you can't risk more money without, like, risking blowing. So let's not repeat myself. But now with this one, what's so good about this one is if you double this, well, all that is cushion, as far as what I understand it. Okay, but you're still paying $105 rent on whatever it is. I don't know if it's 620 or 625. Probably 625. Sounds better. But so the point is, with CoinEx, let's say you start with 500, and let's say you're risking, well, let's just say 2%. I don't want to be a bad example, even though I usually risk like 5%. But let's say it's 2%. So 2% of 100 is $2 times 5 is 10. So you're risking 10 to make 20, or like $10 or $20, which really can't be right, can it? 50 on 500, yeah, 2%. That's why it sucks. Yeah, because that's why I don't do it. That's why I risk 25 per trade to try to at least make 75. But that's more risky, right? So you have to be more careful and stuff like that. But anyway, the point is, let's say I make average $50 a day, trading between 2 and 5% risk. At the end of the week, let's say on average, I got 250. Now, at the end of the week, first week, I got 750. Second week, I just do the same thing. Just keep it consistent. And I get to 1,000. Now, when I get to 1,000, and you can make your rules however you want to make your rules. But then let's say you get to 1,000. Now you're like, okay, I want to risk, keep my risk the same. Actually, you can keep your risk the same. And then you're just basically risking more money per trade. You just keep your percentage the same. So you just think about it in terms of percent. But anyways, the point is, actually, you have to lower your percent risk if you're tracking it with percent on these, because when you start with a $100,000 account, you've got X amount of risk, 2%, and that works, let's say. But you get to 103, let's say, or 106, $106,000 account. Well, now 2% of that is going to be much more, put you at much more risk of blowing the account sooner. And that is how they make their money. They make their money by people blowing accounts and continuing to pay the fee, the ignorance tax, okay? And then if they are a good trader, they're a good little boy or a good little girl, then they get to upgrade to the rent. Now they're paying rent like a good little trader. But you get what I'm saying. So they're renting money. How many of you want to actually rent money? I mean, that's like insanity, right? $105. How much is that in percent? What percent of 625 is 105? Well, let's just say
Okay, what percent? Let's just say it was 500. So $100. So 20%, somewhere around there. Probably less. Probably a little less than 20%. But if, let's say they were charging you $100 to rent 500, that would be 20%. So it's a little bit less than 20%. It's whatever. I don't know, between 15 and 20. Okay, but still, it's insane. Their cut. What if you loan somebody, whatever, $625, and you knew they were good, like, for it, you know, and they were like, "Yeah, I'll pay you back. How much you want?" Would you ask for $100 on that? Maybe you would, and maybe you would not be wrong to do that. I'm not saying, because that's like not black and white, right? That's just like whatever you want to do, but and whatever they accept, right? Okay, like I said, the ignorance tax. Okay, but I feel like for me personally, you know, I think doesn't the Bible say just freely give, right? Um, there is that scattereth and yet increaseth, and there is that withholdeth more than is meet, yet it tendeth to poverty, right? And it talks about not collecting usury. Usury is not good in the Bible. Okay, so this is really not good. I mean, obviously it's a business, and they're trying to help you. They're trying to help you. What they're doing is they're dangling $100,000, saying, "Yeah, the big money baller, yeah," and they're they're saying, "Yeah." See, I'll tell you, it's somewhere it says it's fake on here. I don't know. It's not real. Where does it say it's fake? Motion picture. See that? Motion picture use only. And but this is one of the most realistic ones you can get. Oh, sorry. My bad. Yeah. Now I searched see that copy? So you can see it's the same thing. I actually did very I actually bought a whole bunch of fake money, and I sent all of it back except for this one, because this was the most realistic out of all of them. But anyways, here's the reality. They're saying you're renting $100,000 for $30, and then when you pass the account, they start charging you $105 for what? $620. So you want to know how much $620 looks like? You think it looks like this much? Is that what you think it looks like? Obviously not. Here's what $625 looks like. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 600. So close enough. So this is what you're actually getting. I can spread it out and make it look like more. Big money baller. Make it rain, make it rain, make it rain. Right? Don't go to strip clubs. I'm not promoting that. I'm just saying. Okay. So this is what they're saying you're getting versus what you're actually getting. See what I'm saying? They're making this much. Yes, they're making all this. They're making this and then some. They're making a ton. They got a yacht. They got yachts. Okay. Meanwhile, this is what you actually get right here. Okay. But actually, truth be told, you could take one of these, rip it in half, okay? and so if you're renting that much, now you're only really renting, kind of in theory, $550 in a way. Okay, don't worry, I got more of these. Okay, now if you pass the account, Now you're paying $105 rent. So how much do you have at that point? Catching on? Do you have 600 really? No. In theory, take one of these away, throw it on the floor, burn it, whatever. Now you really just have 500 because you're spending 100, and this, it's not even yours. It's in their account. You have to ask for permission to access it. And then it could take 16 days. 16, can you see that? Can you see that? 16 days. I know you can see that, right? Huh? I'll get the flashlight. Hold on. Let me get the flashlight. I want to make sure you see that. Can you see that? Can take 16 days for a payout. Okay. You are paying $105 a month for $625. That's the static account. Okay. Now, with the static account, you can go ahead and grow that account. You can go ahead and grow that account, and you can make a lot of money and whatever, but you're still gonna have to pay the rent. You still only start with 500. Okay, not 100,000. So think about it. Do you want to rent $625 for $105 a month and not have freedom and have all those prop firm rules? Too many rules. Look at that. Too many rules. Let's just circle that in red. Okay. Circle that in red. What's the closest thing I have? Where'd my red marker go? I don't know. Things have been so crazy over the last year. You guys don't even know. You guys don't even know. Look at this. Rules. Is that it looks red, doesn't it? But these are not your rules. They're freaking Apex's rules, right? Okay. That's why I said, okay, prop firms are a lie. Okay? They are a lie. They're not really there to help you. Okay, so don't lie to yourself. They're there to get your money. Cold hard cash. Okay? And that's it. So there you go. That is why prop firms are a lie. And the video is almost 40 minutes, so let's go ahead and just keep it in the 30-minute range. But I hope that this helped. If you have any questions, you can ask ChatGPT, and I'm sure be much happy to answer you. So, all right, thanks for watching. This is Blake, Forex Money Flipper with 10 Talents Trading, coming at you with another banger. Another banger! All right, salute. As you were. Dismissed.